What's up, guys?
Guys, this is the Handlebar Podcast YouTube channel.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
This is our YouTube channel.
Welcome to our YouTube channel.
Where we do videos.
For you.
Yes. Because we love you.
All right, two important things. Two serious important things. Number one, the podcast is listener funded. So every donation, if you've made a donation, thank you so much. You have funded the podcast. If you have not made a donation, let me tell you, the Handlebar Podcast is donor funded. That's the term. Donor funded. We are donor funded.
It means you can donate to us
on our website.
And that's how we are able to make episodes.
Which is thehandlebarpodcast.com.
Yes. Also, we have merch. We actually have new merch. So you can check it out.
Let me get some.
Also on
Let me get some. I'll show it to you right now. Let me get some.
Yeah.
I can't show it and
we
talk.
have new. Yeah, of course. I'll hold it for you.
All right. So this is one piece we have. Wow. Check it out. Check it out. One of our episode favorites.
Handlebars.
Boom. And this one.
Can we open this?
Yeah, open it.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but open it. Why? Wait. Is that how you open packages? This would look nice in the summer. Wearing it to the pool.
Yeah, honestly, it's cool.
Yeah, it's fire. It really is fire.
It's kind of new for me.
All right, you can get this. You can get our classic merch, like our sweaters, mugs, totes, all on our website, thehandlebarpodcast.com. We're listener funded.
We're listener funded.
Wait.
How many times are you going to say
I'm just trying to say the two important things.
Bro.
Number 3, we love you. Thank you for listening.
We do love you.
To the Handlebar Podcast.
Welcome to the Handlebar Podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the podcast. This is Sessions with Aaron and Sarah Beth.
This is fun. I love doing them with you.
I always love doing them with you.
Aw.
I'm
just kidding.
There are some people that are watching or listening and they're going cute, and then there's other people that are going, oh my gosh, I want to vomit. You know that moment when you're like, that is not cute.
Yeah,
but I think it was cute. So
I think you're cute.
We're gonna jump into Sessions.
Yeah,
that's why you're pregnant, because you say stuff like that. So
whoa, okay, all right, let's veer back towards
third baby coming.
Okay, tell the story of what just happened to us, because we just got done so dirty.
Well, for those of you who don't know, which is probably everyone, because I don't think we've ever said this, but oftentimes when we record like a bunch of episodes at one time.
Well, how would they not know that? We look exactly the same.
Oh.
Same clothes, same hair.
Well, if you're ever wondering why we have the same clothes,
flowers.
Same hair on multiple episodes, it's because we do, what is it?
Yeah, we gotta knock them out
in one sitting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I don't know when this will come out in the timeline of like what the date this actually will come out, but tonight is
the Mavs are playing.
Game 5 between the Timberwolves and the Mavs.
It's serious business here at the Smith
Luka,
house.
Kyrie, they couldn't seal the deal the other night, so hopefully tonight is the night. So after recording, we're going to watch the Mavs game. So Rafi had the idea to order wings. He was like, let's do wings. Let's do Wingstop.
Rafi? Or was it you?
No, it started with Rafi. But I was down. I co-signed. Anyways, we're recording, and all of a sudden I get a text on my phone that says, your delivery has been canceled. And so
That's happened before.
we start calling Wingstop like, yo, what's up with our wings? Why'd our wings get canceled?
Like,
so
we
they won't
gave
answer.
them.
They put me on hold for about 10 minutes. So Rafi's like, well, I'll go. You guys record your episode, which is what we're now doing here, recording. And he was like, I'll go. So he gets to
He's
Wingstop.
at Wingstop currently.
Before we pushed record on this, Rafi calls and he's like, hey, so DoorDash, I guess they partner with DoorDash, but your DoorDash delivery guy stole your wings. So he's like, can you send me a screenshot of the notification you got that said your delivery got canceled because the DoorDash driver picked it up?
Oh, because he picked it up.
So I sent the confirmation.
Oh,
we'll see what happens.
That guy's out
TBD,
of a job.
what will happen to the wings?
Hey, if you're watching this, DoorDash delivery dude, we love you, but return our wings.
Honestly, I hope he enjoys those wings.
Yeah, and just know God
win.
loves you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's crazy.
Let's jump into our question. All right.
That had something behind it.
Let's jump into our question here. This is a question that was submitted by Samuel Rodriguez. My boy gave us his last name. I think he is the first person.
I feel like
maybe.
I know a Samuel Rodriguez, but it's
You
fine.
might.
I probably don't know this guy.
I don't know if you know this one, but this one is Samuel Rodriguez. He's 21. He's from Calera, Alabama. I hope I'm saying that right. Calera, Alabama.
Okay.
Roll Tide. I'm not a Roll Tide fan, but Roll Tide brother. And he asked this question. He says, how can I make decisions with God in a healthy way and avoid second guessing your decisions to the point of coming, it says all caps, delulu, which I'm assuming is delusional.
That's amazing. Thank you for putting that word in the question. That
How
blesses
can I
me.
make decisions with God in a healthy way and avoid second guessing your decisions to the point of becoming
Delulu.
Samuel Rodriguez, 21.
I can
Calera,
relate on
Alabama.
a deep level. So let's jump in.
Let's jump in. Let me put a timer, 10 minutes. Let's go. I hope you guys enjoy sessions. Let us know in the comments below what you enjoy about sessions. Do you like that they're shorter? Do you wish they were longer? Let us know. We would love to see in the comments. Maybe it will change the way we do it, or maybe it will affirm us in the way we're already doing it. Who knows? But
Should we keep the rug?
10-minute timer has started. How do you make decisions with God? Sir Beth, you should start us out, because I've seen in our 7 years of marriage.
What have you seen?
You've come a long ways in this.
Thank you.
When we first got married, girl, you could not make a decision to save your life.
I've had two, what I would say were like panic attacks in my life, and they've both been around making decisions. So yeah, I would say I love the question. I love that the question says, how do I make decisions with God? That's key. I think that I had this view of God where if I made the wrong decision, I was going to mess up my entire life. But I wasn't viewing making the decision with him. I viewed him as he's looking at me.
What are you going to
being
decide?
like, there's this one and there's this one, and you better get it right. And so it was like my view of God was more of a harsh father than a father that would be like, let's make the decision together. What do you want to do? How can I pull this out of you? Right?
Yeah.
And so I remember I was talking to a mentor one day, and I think it was something like, should I take this job? Should I not? And she was like,
which granted is a big decision.
Yeah, it is. But it is.
Like
It was
we're
like
not
a
talking
small.
about-
It was like a small part-time gig.
Yeah.
It was like working at a workout studio. So it is a big decision, but at the same time, I look back and I'm like, oh,
It wasn't
that
this
was pretty
ultimate
easy.
trajectory of your life.
Yeah. But I thought it was, because my view of God was, if I get this wrong, I don't even know what the end result would be. What would chase the end of that fear? It would be, what would it be?
You tell
I
me.
don't know. I'm trying to think. Like, if I get this wrong, I'll ruin the plans that God has for my life. That sounds so dumb, because I'm not.
When you say it out loud,
I'm
but
not
when
big
you're
enough to ruin his plans.
Internalizing it does not feel or
No.
sound dumb. It can eat your lunch.
Yes. So I was trying to decide, and I was trying to even decide whether to audition to be an instructor at this workout place. And she was like, she's like, I learned a long time ago that God's will is much less like walking on a tightrope in my life, and it's much more of playing on a playground
Yes. Come on, say that
as
again.
like a child. She's like, you're treating God's will like you're walking across a tightrope, but you need to
one
look
foot
at
in
it
front
as
of the
though you
other.
can play on the
Don't
playground.
get it wrong or you'll fall
Yeah.
off.
She's like, do you want to do the monkey bars or do you want to go on the slide? Do you
Wow.
want? And I had never been told that before. And so it started this whole thing of, wait, God, you want me to ask you for what I want, or you want me to decide? And so anyway, I feel like there are decisions where he'll make it very clear. That's either a yes or a no. And then there are decisions where we've learned that he's waiting for us to take a step. And I think of our back patio at our old house that you were asking God, right? Should I do this or should I not?
Right.
Is this going to be a dumb financial decision?
Right. Well, this specific situation, yes, we had just bought this house, and we both love to be outside. I really love to be outside.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to cover our back patio, which was a massive, like 30 by 20 foot, like slab of
Project,
concrete, as
yep.
you know. And so I'm trying to decide, are we going to take this home loan out to build this back patio? I don't know,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm asking the Lord, would you speak to me? And that night I have a dream. And in the dream, it was actually your dad in the dream was standing with me.
Yeah.
And we were in the renovated patio, the way I was hoping to do it. And I was showing him in the dream. And in the dream, he was going, this is amazing. This is amazing. And I remember at the end of the dream, he looked at me and he said, you have to do it. this is
gives
so
me
amazing.
chills every time.
And I woke up and we made the decision to get the loan and to do the renovation
Yeah.
on the patio because of that dream.
Yeah. So God can like speak through dreams on decisions, but also there have been times, I think for both of us, where we didn't have a dream. We didn't have a word.
Well, about a month after we get that loan out, you lose your job.
Yeah. And we had a baby.
We had a baby and you lost your job. But the reason we got that loan for me was the comfort was you had a job that was helping bring in income. But when you lost your job, what rooted me was the fact that I made the decision in faith based on a dream that I had.
Because the Father was speaking to you.
And here we are, 2.5 years later, and we never once, like that
Have
didn't put us in the
lacked
hole. We weren't
anything.
in lack. It didn't damage us.
No.
But we made that decision with the Lord based on a dream and in faith.
Yes.
I think that's a really...
And if we were to go back or you were to go back and spend so much time freaking out over the fact that I don't have a job and we have this home loan and we did this patio, it would cause you to be double-minded.
Of that.
Huh?
Remember, I had my moment of that.
I don't remember.
I did. I was freaking out. What are we going to do? And you reminded me of the dream. Oh. And you said, remember the dream that you had where God was saying, you have to do this.
And he knew that I wasn't going to have a job.
Right. And it did something to me to be able to be confident in the decision I made. But I want to say this, we're talking about how do you make decisions with God without being double-minded. And this is a way I have lived my life, and I know you have your Bible open and you can read the verse that you're wanting to read, but a way I have always lived my life with God. I've been walking with the Lord for almost 15 years now, and for 15 years, when I was a young adult, I did this. When we were dating, I did this. As young marrieds, I did this. Now, as young parents, I still live this way, but I kind of take every opportunity like it's a yes. Until he says no.
Until he slams the door shut.
And what I have found is that he is so kind to tell you no when it's a no.
Yes.
And that has liberated me from having to really be, get caught up in the wind of like, what should I do?
Yes.
When making decisions of knowing like, man, I'm going to say yes. And if this is not the right decision, I'm going to trust that he's sovereign.
Yes.
He'll shut the door. He'll give a prophetic word. He'll show up in a dream. Somehow, I don't know how, but he knows my ear is open, that I'm desiring to hear his voice. Somehow he's going to communicate to me that this is a no. And every time there's been no's.
Yes, that's actually what happened with the workout job story is that I went for it. Remember, I went and auditioned.
You did, and
we
you got
were
it.
young married. We didn't have kids yet, but we wanted to have a baby soon. And so, I went and auditioned. I made it. I was going to go to training in Denver, Colorado. And then I woke up the morning that I had to give a final answer, I believe. And I had been reading these little excerpt daily devotional things from the Passion Translation. They would be sent to my email. But it wasn't something that I picked up my phone and the first thing when I woke up and saw that notification. So I picked up my phone that morning when I needed to give my final answer. And the title for the devotional that day is I'm closing this door. And I knew in my heart what God was doing. I'm closing this door. I don't want you to take this job. And so it was like I auditioned. I even kind of looked silly going back saying I'm not going to take the trip to Denver and get trained in this certification. But I knew that, like you said, he had showed up and he had shut the door. But he wanted me to take the steps. Like you would want Rosie to take the steps. You don't want to choose everything for her whole life. You want to teach her how to make decisions powerfully on her own. And if she's about to step in front of a moving car, you're going to move her. You're going to save her life. That's what God was doing for me, because little did I know, but a few months later, I would be pregnant and wouldn't even be able to teach that class pregnant. So, and lots of other reasons why I think God shut that door. But he will shut the door. So we have lived our lives walking through, treating big decisions as if we're walking through the open door until he shuts it.
Yeah. Which is so liberating.
Because if not, you'll just be paralyzed in fear and double-mindedness.
Yeah. I think an add-on to that, though, is I feel like something we're regularly asking the Lord for, and this could even be a handlebar, is we're asking the Lord for wisdom.
Yes.
Kind of in
James
everything
1.
we're doing. And we're just like, Lord, would you give us wisdom?
Yeah.
Lord, would you give us wisdom on what to do? I know I used to read a proverb a day, whatever day the month it is the proverb I would read. And I would do that in faith, believing I'm going to receive wisdom. If Proverbs is the book of wisdom, Lord, I want wisdom. I want to make decisions in wisdom. I don't want to make decisions based on my own will, but on yours.
Yeah.
And my life is submitted to you. Therefore, give me wisdom to know what your will is.
Yeah.
And there was something along that journey that I had found that in taking open doors and just assuming they're a yes until he says no,
Right.
I saw where the fruit of that prayer would come to pass. And he would give wisdom. And he would give wisdom on, hey, you don't need to do this. Or I think if I remember right in that scenario with you and that workout studio, I think there was actually something going on in your body recovery-wise, that workout would have actually prolonged the healing that you were trying to receive or something like that.
And it was just kind of a snare into the world of, there's the timer, but boutique fitness and just like body image, and God was saving me from a lot.
Yeah, but I would say his wisdom showed up for us in a time that we needed it.
Absolutely.
And read, and see you're open to James. Read James 1. It's the verse I'm talking about asking for wisdom.
Yeah. If you need wisdom, ask our generous Father, and he will give it to you. He will not rebuke you for asking. That's powerful.
Oof, read that part again.
He will not rebuke you for asking for wisdom. But when you ask him, be sure that your faith is in God alone. Do not waver, for a person with divided loyalty is as unsettled as a wave of the sea that is blown and tossed by the wind. Such people should not expect to receive anything from the Lord. Their loyalty is divided between God and the world, and they are unstable in everything they do. Another translation says the word double-minded. And I can think...
Double-minded and unstable in all that they do.
Double-minded and unstable in all that they do. And I can think of lots of times in the last 7 years where I mean, it could be as small as, what was it the other day? It was like the zoo. I wanted to take the kids to the zoo so bad. Like, I just had this dream of before I get 9 months pregnant and it's 110 degrees outside, I want to go to the zoo. We just got a new stroller. I want to go. And of course, the only day that we can go, it's gonna like torrential downpour. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. We're just going to go and we're going to believe for the best. Well, we get there and it starts to rain and I'm like, we're going home. Why did I come here? Like,
I was over here like, a little rain
Rosie's
never hurt
crying.
anybody.
I'm freaking out. And I realized I stopped for a minute and I was like, Lord, what is going on? Like, I feel so unsettled. And through you, he spoke to me and said, you're being double-minded. And at first I'm like, how dare you? And then I remembered this verse. It's like, I was being tossed by this little decision of whether or not to go to the zoo. And then as soon as it started to rain and something became unstable, I became unstable. So it could be something as small as that or something as big as, you know, a job that's gonna determine the trajectory of your life, a spouse, when to have a baby. Like, these can be way bigger decisions. I'm just giving my own life examples, but I don't want to be double-minded.
When you're submitted to the Lord's leadership, you're all in.
Yeah.
You're following him. You're
not going to miss it.
You're desiring to live by his voice.
Yes.
You're not going to miss it.
No. And I did not believe that when I heard it.
What you said at the beginning was its most profound handlebar in itself, is that the will of God is not a tightrope. It's a playground.
Yeah. What do you want? Like, ask him for what you want. And for me, that took years of unwinding the religion and the skewed view I had of the Lord that was like, I didn't even have the freedom to know what I wanted because I just had to please him. And I had, like, he's going to be like upset with me if I pick the wrong way for my life, which sounds so silly coming out of my mouth, but it's what I believed. I believed he was a harsh father. And now I believe he's a good father that wants the best for me, that wants to teach me how to make decisions. Yeah. Just like we want to teach our kids how to make decisions.
So to Samuel Rodriguez, who is in Alabama, what is the handlebar you're giving him?
Oh, you're asking me. Oh, man. I feel like I've had so much history with this, but what would be something practical? Okay. This sounds so simple, but it changed my life. If you have two things that you're deciding between, pick one. Just pick one. Just pick. Like, Rosie picked we were doing school this morning and I was like, do you want to color this red or blue? And she's like, red. Like, just pick. You are his child. You're not going to miss it. And you have the freedom to pick one. Yeah. Just pick. That changed my life. And it, like, irked me a little bit, but it really did
You're like,
change.
what is the right one?
But I need to know.
But what if there's not a right one?
Yeah.
Just pick.
Oof.
I would say my handle. I've seen that play out in you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah. Okay. My handlebar is, I'm going to say, do James 1 and ask for wisdom.
Yeah.
And then take the opportunity.
Yeah.
Take the open door. And
Be looking for his voice.
Keep taking step after step until you realize, oh, this is a closed door.
You'll know.
But if the door doesn't close, keep walking through it.
Yes.
And ask for wisdom. Ask for wisdom on what his will is. Ask for wisdom on how he's leading you. But don't just ask for wisdom, take the step.
Yes.
Take the step of faith. And I promise you won't fall short. He's too good of a father to not catch you, to not stop you. He's not going to let you run into that open street.
And the word says
car.
we're his sheep and we know his voice.
Yeah, by default. If you are a sheep, by default, you know his voice.
Like we were in
my sheep know my
Iceland
voice.
for our first year anniversary. And there were we were driving down the road and there were all these people, we'll wrap up here. There were all these people yelling at these sheep. Like, bah! It was you actually. You and a bunch of cars in front of us were like messing with these sheep and they would not look at us. Like would not give us the time of day, nothing. They wouldn't. Then their shepherd came out to feed them and said something.
Well, remember he kind of like yodeled a little bit.
Yeah, he said
like I'm actually
I don't know the noise he made,
that came out of him.
But they all immediately turned towards him
and they started running. Yeah.
So you're his sheep. You know his voice. You're not going to miss it.
Yeah.
We love you guys. Thanks for watching.
Hope this helps.
Hi, I'm Maggie Verlander. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and I'm a listener of the Handlebar podcast. One thing I love about the podcast is how real it feels to me. I feel like every time I listen, it speaks into a lot of topics that I don't hear from a lot of other podcasts. And so every time I just am reminded how authentic it feels to me. And so if you love this podcast too, you should like and subscribe and send it to a friend, your family, your crush, all the people. That's it.
Wait, no. Actually, I wanted to read you that part. Yeah, because I think